A lot of people are watching your social media or wherever it is that you're advertising. They're like, this person's really cool, but I don't really know how they can help me because you're simply not making enough offers. Now, that can happen directly on social media. That can happen in DM conversations. Obviously, on sales calls, guys, 100% of the time on sales calls, you should be taking the shot. You shouldn't get to the end of the sales call and wimp out and be scared to not make the offer, to not make the pitch. Let them say no. Let that be an experience for you to learn. Sales is a skill that you need to sharpen over time, so don't be scared to make the offer.
Welcome to episode 97 of the Success School podcast.
I'm actually really excited to be here today. I'm gonna butt in. I know that you usually ask me, how am I feeling today? But I'll just jump in and tell you how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling pumped. Let me tell you why I'm feeling pumped, because it's perfectly in line with the topic that we're talking about today. So before I tell you why I'm pumped, tell us, what are we talking about today?
How to make more sales without changing your offer. Ooh. Very elusive.
I'm excited because last week, our sales rep closed 112% of sales.
How the fuck they do that?
Which is amazing. Just so you're clear, 112% of sales. So I know that you might be thinking it's magic, and it is because I am sales manager.
Okay.
That is not the answer. That's absolutely not the answer.
And what do you do as sales manager?
Some meetings.
How's that work? I feel like great marketing helps.
Great marketing definitely helps. You really want to know how he closed 112% of sales?
Yep.
Because we built a pipeline.
Okay, cool.
So I think that we might go into this throughout this topic today, but if we don't, just in case, guys, I think if you're expecting every single person who gets on a call with you to close that day, you're missing out on a huge chunk of your pipeline because people literally aren't ready. If you have more than 50% close rate, you're doing really well. Some people just aren't ready to buy right now. That doesn't mean that they're never going to buy from you. That means that they're not a right now. So if you're not following up those people in 3, 6, 12 months time to check in on them, you're missing out on massive amounts of pipeline value. Our sales guy, Paul, who's phenomenal, by the way, he follows up really thoroughly. Like a maniac. And he checks in and he makes sure that everybody feels really valued and really supported. And because of that, when people are ready, who's the person they're going to go to? They're going to go to the person that has been contacting them for 6 months.
So you've been mentioning pipeline a lot. And there is a pipeline running next to the road up to Broome, which leads to my personal update. Segue. So we're going to Broome on a caravanning trip, and I have been modifying and doing up our caravan. Most excited about, it's a product called Blackjack. And what it is a product where you press a button and it raises the caravan on and off the tow point. Really sexy and exciting here. And I've been super pumped about it because every time we go caravanning looks really fun for the outside, but it's very stressful. So every time you like set up and pack down, you've got to hook chains on and off and you've got to jack up the caravan. It's like a bunch of work. So I've been optimizing our next trip so it's as easy as possible. Everything's electric and automated, and I'm just very excited about it. So thanks for listening to my TED Talk on blackjacks and caravans.
Is there an affiliate code?
Yeah. Tim 10.
We are Tim 10. We are really excited to be getting away. We cannot do Perth winters. It is not our vibe. So see you later, Perth winter, and hello, Broome summer.
All right, guys, big favor. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button. We offer value every single week on a Monday. Our podcasts are amazing if we don't say so ourselves. Steph, what are we talking about today? You did allude to it a little bit before.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how to make more sales without changing your offer. And there are a couple of things that you need to know before we dive in. So the first thing that you need to know is that no, you do not need a new offer. I think sometimes you do, but you probably don't. You don't need a new offer. You need to make more shots. And when we say make more shots, it literally means like basketball. If you were thinking about Michael Jordan, you were correct. You can't throw 2 balls at the hoop and then say it doesn't work. You have to throw 100 balls and see how many you get in and then optimize the offer from there. Most people just aren't making enough offers to know whether or not the offer is actually a problem, or they're only making offers to people in their immediate audience. And some of those people just aren't literally ready for it. So you need to take more shots. You need to make more offers.
Second thing you need to know is speed matters. So example, if someone puts their hand up and say they're interested in what you do or your offer, you need to contact them immediately, today, tomorrow, and no later than 48 hours. We're going to go into that in depth as we give you a step-by-step.
Every sales call that you run needs to follow a structure. Oh my gosh. If a client comes to us and they realize that their main constraint is sales, and then we ask them for a recording of their call and we ask them to send us their slide deck, if they say I don't have one, it's like a knife to my heart. Guys, you must be following a script or at least a structure, and it needs to hit off the main pain points because it's not just a conversation with the human being. It's an entire process to help them realize that now is the right time.
And the fourth thing you need to know is the best sales coach right now is AI. So what you can do is you can put your transcripts of your sales calls into AI, find out where it's falling down, and then work on your sales process. Okay. It's free. It's easy. It's instant. You don't need to pay someone $20,000 to review your sales calls or improve your process. AI can do that for you. Steph's going to kick us off with a step-by-step on how to make more sales without changing your offer.
I want to speak to this because I do think that your offer sometimes does need to change. Your offer needs to solve a very specific problem for your clients. Now, if your offer doesn't solve a very specific problem, it's going to be harder to sell. However, I still think you can sell a pretty average offer if you talk about it every single day. Now, you guys have seen these people online. They talk about their offer every day in their stories in different ways. So you might share a client win one day, you might share a case study the next, you might talk about a client who's getting a result in your program this day, and every single one of those things would end in a call to action. But if you don't make offers daily, like, hey, come and join us over here, or hey, if you want results like this, come work with us over here, you're missing out on juice. A lot of people are watching your social media or wherever it is that you're advertising. They're like, this person's really cool, but I don't really know how they can help me because you're simply not making enough offers. Now, that can happen directly on social media. That can happen in DM conversations. Obviously, on sales calls, guys, 100% of the time on sales calls, you should be taking the shot. You shouldn't get to the end of the sales call and wimp out and be scared to not make the sale, to not make the offer, to not make the pitch. Let them say no. Let that be an experience for you to learn. Sales is a skill that you need to sharpen over time. So don't be scared to make the offer.
Second point, this is almost a hack, is use a 48-hour booking window on your calendar, your sales calls, or whatever you use. So we've been on a big journey to improve show-up rate. And we found that anyone that books 48 hours, 72 hours, and longer on a sales call, the likelihood of them showing up is not very high because people have an immediate problem and they want a solution. So we've blocked out, we only allow 48 hours on our calendar, sometimes 72 over weekends and that type of stuff. But that's increased show-up rate for us by 30%. So if you want to increase your show-up rate to people actually booking a call, have a 48-hour window on your sales calls.
I want to touch on one other thing here. Make sure your sales calls are available on days where your clients are likely to show up. Yeah. So for our industry, Monday mornings are pretty much a no-go because our clients are usually wake up on a Monday morning very frazzled and very stressed and will move anything out of the calendar on a Monday morning so they can work. And our calls also probably won't show up on a Friday afternoon because we target lifestyle businesses and entrepreneurs who don't want to work weekends, really. They might still be working weekends, but they're definitely not going to take a sales call on a Friday afternoon. And so we wouldn't have calendar availability open for those two times. However, we have a couple of different clients in our program that target working mums. And if you're targeting a working professional mum, you might need to open up a Saturday and nighttime slots. We would never open a Saturday because they wouldn't show up. But it's being really mindful of when you open your calendar that makes sense for your clients too. The third one is to follow a sales call structure. So I already kind of touched on this previously, but please do not wing it. We give our clients exceptional sales call processes and structures within Success School and also within our accelerator because we just want them to win really quickly. We have spent, well, I personally have spent, and I think you have as well, upwards of $70,000 or $80,000 on sales coaches and mentorships that teach sales so that we can understand this stuff. There is an exact process to this, and it's not manipulative and it's not gross. It's just a series of questions to help that person figure out if this is a yes for them. Now, remembering that 50% of calls won't close, that means that for some people, it's really not going to be a yes. We're not here to convince you to purchase, but we do want you to make that from a hell yes decision in your body. And the way that you ask those questions really matters.
I just want to give you 2 KPIs on this, guys, and we preach this in Success School in the Mastermind program all the time, but we aim for a 50% close rate. If that's not there, we would say that's on the red line for us, and that would be unacceptable. So we need to go back on the script, watch the tonality, do those types of things. The second KPI is we want a 60% show rate. If you're not getting that, your automations, your follow-ups, that type of stuff, it's probably not where it needs to be. So I want you guys to go and check your sales calls or conversations that you're having. Are you closing 50% of deals? And then are 60% of your calls showing up? If no, you need to look into this process. The fourth tip here is to review your sales calls with AI. I'm going to break this down exactly, prompts, that kind of stuff as well. So what you need to do is record your calls on Zoom. After you've recorded your call, you want to export it. You can use a program called Descript. Then you're going to take the call, the recording, and then you're going to put it in AI. In AI, you're going to ask ChatGPT, you're going to say, hey, pretend you are Cole Gordon or Matt Ryder or some elite salesperson. I want you to break down this call structure. What did I do well? What didn't I do well? Break it down into 5 sections from rapport to intro to digging deep on problems to offering the solution, etc. And then give me points to improve on each of them. Don't make it overwhelming. And you could use a prompt like that to start gauging and training yourself with sales calls and AI. And that way, after a week, a month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you are going to be a sales demon and a warlord, and you're going to not miss anything, and you're going to be closing probably better than 50%. I don't know the exact statistics on this, but if you improve your close rate by 10% or 20%, you're going to make a hell of a lot more money, and you're going to help a hell of a lot more people just by training and getting better.
Absolutely. And one of our clients in the mastermind recently, her name's Jasmine, absolute legend. She came on and she was really nervous to send us her sales call because, she knew that it probably wasn't that great. And she was like, oh God, I'm probably not that good at this. I listened to her sales call, put it into AI, got some feedback, gave her the feedback. And the next 3 calls, she closed at $9,000 per client. So yes, you can practice it backwards and forwards, of course, but sometimes you just need a couple of those little mini changes through AI and changing your script and being brave enough to actually say the new words, and you can turn your close rate around so quickly.
All right, guys. So we're just going to finish off here with what not to do. So you don't want to hope people get the hint, okay? You want to make direct offers. You want to tell them what's in it for them. You want to tell them an outcome that they're going to get. You're going to tell them exactly how it works. So as soon as you sign up, tomorrow we're going to do X. In 30 days, we're going to do X. In 90 days, we're going to do X. You want to make it crystal clear on what the expectations are and how it works once they sign up to your service, program, product, or whatever that is. Number 2 is don't let leads sit in limbo for days. You want to follow people up immediately. There's a saying that I have, and Steph hates it: follow up like a thirsty ex. You got to be crazy with the follow-ups, guys. I don't mean like crazy. I just mean you've got to be consistent on it. Our best salespeople are people that follow up a lot.
Don't freestyle on your sales call. If you don't have a script, then please get one. If you're in Success School, you're not using a script, I will try very hard not to be mad at you, but I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And please start using the ones that we've given you, and don't ignore your own data. So get the data and just optimize it. So if you're closing at 50%, but you want to close at 60%, that's going to bring a hell of a lot more cash into your business. So let's find a way to optimize your sales process to get 10% more of those people across the line.
All right, guys, we're going to get into listener question today. It's from Matt, and I guess our sales manager could probably answer this because she's so amazing. What's the biggest mistake people make on sales calls, Steph?
Yeah, I would say, 1, they talk more than they listen. So the first 70% of the call should be you asking questions and them answering. So they should be talking 70% of the time. It's only in the last 30% of the call that you will be speaking, because you will be taking everything they've just said and reflecting back why the offer that you have is the solution to all the problems that they've just given you. So all the discovery that you do, 70% of them should be talking, 30% of your sales call should be you explaining why your solution is the right fit for them, if it is, okay? The other mistake that I see people make all the time is that they pitch their offers as just the features. So yeah, cool. And then when you sign up, you get one-to-one with me, and then we do one-to-ones every week. And then you also get access to the portal, and then you also get access to the retreats. And then you also, they don't care. Really, if you're selling them based on features, you're selling them based on the wrong thing. People want to pay to have their problem solved. They want to know that your solution is going to solve that problem. So you need to talk to them about all the mechanisms within your solution, not the features, but the mechanisms. So for example, we have compound marketing, we have our paid ads mentorship. These are mechanisms that happen within our program to help our clients actually get the results. So you want 1,000 more leads? Cool. We have a paid ads mentorship. It's a mechanism that's going to support you to get those 1,000 leads every single month, right? So you absolutely need to be speaking in outcomes, not in features.
All right, guys, here's a recap of the episode on how to upgrade your sales. So you want to make more offers daily. You want to add a 48-hour expiry on calendars. You want a tight call schedule, so you have to follow a script or a process here. And I don't mean a word-for-word script. I just mean a structure that you follow. And then lastly, you want to review your calls with AI every week. Every single call should be going through that AI process. You want to make more shots, you want more clarity, and you want more conversations. Lastly, guys, if you got some value from today's episode, don't forget to subscribe on whatever platform you're at. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.